All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're tearing down one of the biggest earnings reports of the year, Palantir's absolutely mind-blowing Q2 2025. The numbers are huge, the vision is even bigger, and it looks like they're trying to plant their flag right in the middle of the AI revolution. So how on earth did they do it?
You know, the feeling around Palantir right now, from the market to the company itself, can pretty much be summed up like this. To the moon! This wasn't just a solid quarter. It feels like they're sending a message. But hang on, before we get into the weeds, just a quick heads up. So, just a quick disclaimer, this whole explainer is just for informational purposes. It is absolutely not financial advice. It's all based on public earnings call transcripts, and our source for all this info is the channel Wall Street Club, which translates to the Wall Street Club. Okay, now for the main event.
First up, let's talk about the massive financial milestone. I mean, these are the kinds of numbers that really make you sit up and pay attention.
And there it is. For the very first time, Palantir's quarterly revenue didn't just grow, it blew past the $1 billion mark. That's a huge, huge deal. A massive psychological and financial barrier just got smashed. And, you know, the success was pretty much everywhere you looked. That billion-dollar revenue just shattered expectations with 48% year-over-year growth. Adjusted earnings per share, they beat the forecasts. And they posted a GAAP net income, that's standard accounting, of $327 million. That gives them a really solid 33% profit margin. It was just a clean sweep.
So, where did this billion-dollar quarter actually come from? Well, it wasn't just a little bit of growth everywhere. One specific area of the business basically acted like a rocket engine. Let's unpack that search.
And this right here tells the story. Look, a 53% jump in their U.S. government business is nothing to sneeze at. That's impressive. But it gets completely overshadowed by the U.S. commercial side, which just exploded with an unbelievable 93% year-over-year growth. That's clearly the engine driving this whole train.
So let's put that in perspective for a second. When you add those two up, U.S. commercial and U.S. government, they now account for a whopping 73% of Palantir's total revenue. This is more and more a very American success story.
But how? How are they pulling off this insane commercial growth? Well, that brings us right to the heart of their strategy, what they call their AI superpower platform. This is the secret sauce. Now, to really get how big a deal this platform is, you gotta know about something called the Rule of 40. It's a quick and dirty way to measure the health of a software company. You just add their revenue growth rate to their profit margin. If the number is over 40%, you're looking at a very strong business, okay? Remember that number, 40. So, what was Palantir's score? 94%. Yeah, you heard that right. Not 44, not 54, 94. As CEO Alex Karp put it, they are obliterating the metric. This isn't just a healthy company. This is a sign of a business that's both incredibly efficient and growing like crazy at the exact same time. So what makes their AI platform so special? Well, according to their CTO, Shyam Sankar, the company's view is pretty blunt. All these large language models, the tech behind things like ChatGPT, they're great, but they just don't work for complicated business problems on their own. He says they need Palantir software as the bridge to connect to a company's actual, messy, real-world data to be useful. And they back this up with some incredible results. I mean, look at this. For Citibank, they took a 9-day process and cut it down to a few seconds. For Fannie Mae, finding mortgage fraud went from taking 2 months to seconds. And get this, at Nebraska Medicine, they increased the use of a patient lounge by over 2,000%. That's like adding a whole new hospital wing. These are game-changing results. This tech advantage isn't just about cool stats, though. It's translating into gigantic long-term contracts. And that, right there, is the ultimate proof that customers believe it works. In this one quarter alone, Palantir booked a record-breaking $2.3 billion in what's called total contract value. That number represents the total value of all the new deals they signed, which is a massive signal of all the revenue they've locked in for the future. And a huge chunk of this is coming from their bread-and-butter government work. We're talking about a new 10-year deal with the U.S. Army that could be worth up to $10 billion, a new order from the U.S. Space Force for over $200 million, and a huge boost to their Maven Smart System contract. Palantir is getting woven deeper and deeper into the fabric of U.S. defense. Which brings us to our last section, the controversial, but you can't deny it's effective, vision of the man leading this company, CEO Alex Karp, and what he's planning for the future. Now, Karp is famous for his unfiltered style, and this quote from the earnings call is pure Karp. He's basically taking a victory lap, openly calling out critics and telling them to just stop talking because, as he says, they've been wrong about Palantir every single quarter. And that confidence flows right into how they run the business. See, unlike most big software companies that have these massive sales armies, Palantir's approach is totally different. Their growth is driven almost entirely by the product itself being so good that its reputation and customer word of mouth do the selling for them. It's a bold strategy, but it sure seems to be working. And the ambition? It doesn't stop. On the call, Karp laid out this absolutely audacious goal. He believes they will grow their U.S. commercial revenue by 10 times in the next 5 years. That's a moonshot, for sure. But given their current trajectory, he's making a case that it might just be possible. So this leaves us with the big question, right? With this unconventional sales model, a CEO who is anything but quiet, and tech that's delivering these kinds of results, can Palantir actually pull it off? Can they really 10x their business and lead this American AI revolution they keep talking about? It's going to be fascinating to watch.
And that's our breakdown of Palantir's massive quarter. If you enjoyed this explainer, you can find more great insights by following the official account of our source, Wall Street Club, the Wall Street Club. Be sure to like and share this. Thanks for tuning in.